Good morning. That's really loud. Welcome to Auburn Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, located on occupied ancestral land of the Muskogee Creek Nation and built in a building constructed by newly freed, formerly enslaved African Americans. My name is Chris Batskier, and I'll be your service associate today. We welcome all of you to our service, especially those of you who are searching for a spiritual home. Many of us were once too seeking for something larger than ourselves to which we could belong, a sense of rootedness to hold us as we create meaning together. We do that well here, although not perfectly. In this congregation, we strive not for perfection, but for authenticity and connection. Whether it's your first time with us or your 100th time, we hope that you'll find here questions that stretch you, people to befriend you, and liberal religious values that challenge you to join us in loving boldly, living justly, and welcoming radically. On behalf of the members of this fellowship, I extend a special welcome to all visitors who are joining us for the first time, and to those of you who still feel like visitors. If you've not already done so, please fill out our visitor book at the front near the greeters, or digitally by visiting auuf.org/visitor. You may also contact our minister, Reverend Chris Rothbauer, at minister@auuf.org with any questions or concerns you may have. As we prepare for our service this morning, please remember to turn your phone and other electronic devices to silent. Let us move into the service willing to be authentic with each other, honest with ourselves, and open to connection in all its forms. Our opening words this morning are from Kate Landis. Every Sunday, we say, whoever you are, wherever you came from, whoever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. It knocks the wind right out of me. I didn't know the human heart could hold so much love before I met this congregation.
Would you stand up and walk out on? Lay hands be your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key. Oh, baby, all I need is brother. I said I'm gonna get it. How do I feel at the end of the day? I turned on you and said, don't get down my way. something that happens all the time. Yeah. What do you feel when you burn out the lights? I can't tell you, but it sure feels like that. Don't you know I'm gonna make it without I promise myself I'll get back. Said I'm gonna try it without you.
We light our chalice this morning with these words from Elizabeth Harding. We Unitarian Universalists don't drink from our chalice. Instead, we use it to hold the flame. The circle of the chalice helps keep the fire small, so the flame doesn't blind us, it doesn't burn us. It gives us light, so we can see all the different things in the universe, even the invisible ones. Because Unitarian Universalist flame is a light of learning. The flaming chalice is a symbol of learning and love. It's our symbol, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. As is our tradition, we also light a candle in solidarity with those families and individuals separated and suffering at our southern border. We light our peace candle this week for the Syrian civil war, which started in 2011 between the Syrian Arab Republic, led by Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, supported by domestic and foreign allies, and various domestic and foreign forces that oppose both the Syrian government and each other in varying combinations. Unrest in Syria began on the 15th of March 2011 as part of the wider 2011 Arab Spring protests out of discontent with the Syrian government, and eventually escalated into an armed conflict after many protests calling for Assad's removal were violently suppressed. As many as 610,000 people have been killed in fighting in Syria since 2011, 5,639 people were killed in 2022, and 449 people have already been killed in 2023. And then I just also want to acknowledge the earthquake this week, which has led to additional suffering in the region as well. Our opening hymn is number 131 in the Gray Hymnal, Love Will Guide Us. ways that we proclaim the warmth and caring of our community is by sharing our joys, concerns, and milestones. We invite you to, one at a time, drop a pebble into our communal bowl during the music for meditation. I invite you, if you have a joy, concern, or milestone, to come forward one at a time and briefly share it into the microphone.
Thank you, Laura. Hi, I'm Patience Melius. This is my sister, Carrie Kim. It's a joy to have her and my brother-in-law, Cherokee, here today. It is a special joy to have Camilla back. And happy birthday to our dad, Randy.
Happy birthday, Pops.
We love you.
I have a concern. We live right next to Town Creek Park and the dog park, and Black German Shepherd has adopted us. Our cat is not taking it well. She cannot leave the house, and the dog catcher couldn't catch the dog. I'm feeding it because it was howling and it was hungry. So it's sort of living outside our house, and it's a beautiful dog. It's skittish, but it's not vicious at all. Maybe to cats, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know if there will be an owner that comes forward, but if anyone is interested in fostering and possible adoption, it's just the kind of dog I'd like to have if I could have a dog.
Thank you to all who've shared your joys, concerns, and milestones this morning. This joy was shared ahead of time by Larry Moore, who wanted everybody to know that Marcia had her 6-hour surgery on Wednesday and all went well. It was a benign tumor, and the neurosurgeon felt confident that he removed all of it. They're hopeful that her vision will improve as well, and she was discharged from Hopkins and is really already making a remarkable recovery. They're going to stay there for about 8 more days to get her sutures removed before they travel back here. They're all so relieved by this outcome, and they look forward to seeing everyone soon. May all the joys, concerns, and milestones of this community, those shared aloud and those held in silence, be received into the care and concern of all present. We're pleased to have a moment for all ages today, led by our coordinator for religious exploration, Angela Farmer. Yay.
I'm just making pit stops along the way, trying to get my posse together. Thank you. Your hair is beautiful today. Hey, buddy. So, Valentine's Day's coming up, right? Valentine's Day's kind of weird because we give like cards to people, tell them how much we love them. But there's different kinds of love, right? Like, you have the kind of love that you have for your mommy and your daddy, and the kind of love you have for your brothers and sisters, even if you don't tell them. The kind of love that we have for friends, the kind of love I have for you guys. So this is a story about a friend talking to a friend about Valentines. Because friend Valentines are a little bit different, aren't they? They are all year. Oh, it is. It's just a ladybug. It's nice. She's nice. Look at that. You're so lucky. I think so. Thank you.
Maybe we should bring it outside.
Maybe. This is not a Valentine. This is not a Valentine. Open the door. Since those come with buckets of roses and bushels of tulips, and they smell like grannies fresh out of the garden. See what he gave her though? And I already blew the wishes off of most of them. You know what he wished for? For a rocket ship, or the last cinnamon bun, or moon boots and a mega blaster. This is not a Valentine, since jewels and gems belong in treasure chests, or museums, or on ladies who sing at the opera. What's that instead?
It's a jewel. It's a ring inside a little spinning cup thing.
Where did those come from?
The dentist.
Bubblegum machines and the dentist. And the fanciest ones don't come out of some machine at the grocery store or dentist anyway. But this one matches your best shoelaces. If it won't get past your knuckles, you could wear it on a string. It's pretty special when somebody knows what your favorite shoelaces are, right? This is not a Valentine, since sparkle and pink and glitter are not your favorite colors. You like the brown in the mud puddle and fish food orange and that purpley blue on your nose when it's a mittens kind of day. But red is pretty good for superheroes. I know who likes red. And you are my favorite one. He needs superhero. You're my favorite superhero, so he got it. This is not a Valentine, since those things have fancy cursive and swoopy spins on words that sound like mush. This one is scraps and rips and drippy glue that dried funny and green marker that was the only one that really worked. Besides, the teacher made us make these. I think some kids were feeling like that last week. This is not a Valentine, since you're all the way up there at the front of the line and I am the caboose. Maybe one day we'll both be in the middle. I hope it's a Wednesday, maybe a Monday, or any of the days really. Until then, whoosh. See, in that one, he was going to throw the airplane at her to give to her. I just threw it at her instead. This is not a Valentine, since the cooties tumble out when you open one of those. What are cooties? Did we not do cooties anymore?
No.
No. Just grown up one, tell me what cooties are?
Yeah, cooties are what girls have.
And sometimes boys have them. Yeah. That's how the girls get them.
It's very contagious.
It is very contagious. They're very contagious.
And sometimes that's how boys and girls get along.
Sometimes that's how boys and girls get along. That's amazing. So this is not a cootie. It's way better than a cootie, right?
Yeah, it's a frog.
But if you get the cooties and I get the cooties, then we can have cherry juice and chicken soup with rice together.
Hey, our poems at school have chicken soup with rice poems.
I like that. This is not a Valentine, since sugared hearts and suckers can give you cavities and belly aches. But I found this at the bottom of my lunchbox. You can have the jelly side, because I like peanut butter best. Maybe I'll have some left over. Maybe. This is not a Valentine, since it's got sharper edges than dainty old lace. Rock with googly eyes and a little star on it. It looks like a face. But if you play duck, duck, goose with kids who run real fast, you'll just get stuck at the stew pot. So meet me at the hopscotch squares. My lucky rock will help. This is not a Valentine, since it's not giggles and whispers about where the best hiding spots are. But the second best one is in the hollow of that trunk. That one over there. We're the only ones who know. Nobody else noticed that. This is not a Valentine, since I don't only like you today. I like you tomorrow and next Tuesday and last week too.
Oh.
I like you all the days the school bell rings. Just one more time. Bring it on. Awesome. It's amazing I found a book with all of their names in it. It's astounding. Can you find yours?
It's a giant heart. You make sure my notebook stays in my backpack so I don't lose it.
Do my absolute best.
On the second Sunday of the month, we take up an offering for an organization whose work in the world aligns with our Unitarian Universalist values. This month, 100% of unpledged donations will go towards Doctors Without Borders, which allows teams to respond to disasters at a moment's notice with life-saving care, medical supplies, and support for local hospitals and partners. Thousands of people in Turkey and Syria are reeling from the deadly earthquakes that struck the morning of February 6th. The first registered a magnitude of 7.8, one of the strongest earthquakes to hit the region in 100 years, and the second at a magnitude 7.5. In northwest Syria, Doctors Without Borders teams have been able to work since the early hours to respond to this influx because they already had a presence in the region. In other locations, they've donated supply kits and they're in touch with health authorities to provide support. At the core of their work is a commitment to independence and impartiality. They take no government funding and rely on unrestricted funds from private donors like us. This means that when an emergency strikes, they don't have to write grants or ask for earmarked donations before they respond. They can act fast. So let's help save the lives of Syria, Haiti, Ukraine, and more than 70 other countries where the needs are greatest by making a donation today. To make a donation online via PayPal, please visit auuf.org. And please indicate in the notes whether your donation is for the pledge or for the offering. If you're writing a check, please make your check payable to AUUF with a note in the memo line about whether it is for the offering or for your pledge, and drop it in the offering bowl or mail it to P.O. Box 669, Auburn, Alabama 36831. The offering will now be gratefully received.
I think you're stopping, since you're always stopping. You said yourself beside I think you're giving up and way too much in fact. I said we're holding on each other here. You say I've known you longer, my baby. You like to be so close, I like to be alone. I like to sit on chairs and you prefer the floor. Walking with each other, this would never match at all, but we do. But we do. But we do. But we do. I thought I knew myself somehow, you know me more. I've never known this and never before. You're the first to make all whenever we argue. Don't know who I'd be if I didn't know you. You're so provocative, I'm so conservative. You're so adventurous, I'm so very cautious to minded. You think we would and we do, but we do, but we do, but we do. Situation I began. Baptism made my thing bad. I began to make an exception. Whoa. You said stubborn and I never give in. I think you're stubborn, sick, you're always something. You said selfish, I agree. All in that. I think you're giving up and way too much in fact. You said I'm no longer my need. You like to be so close, I like to be alone. I like to sit on chairs and you prefer the floor. Walking with each other, then when they're nothing on. But we do.
That song is, she wrote that for her best friend. Basically, it's like all the arguments, little tiffs that they have and how they learn to love each other through it. So it's a good one. Please join me in the spirit of meditation or contemplation in whatever way feels right with these words from an anonymous author. Unitarian Universalism is a faith focused on love, but it often feels easier to extend that love to others rather than to ourselves. But with love at the center of our Universalist heritage, it's a wonder that so many of us think ourselves unworthy of love. This love is for everyone, including us. For those of us who grew up in homes with addiction or dysfunction, it was so hard to know we were loved. Our families struggled to show us their love, and truthfully, they were incapable of giving us love at many points in our lives. Growing up in this environment, we internalized that our lives did not matter and that we were inherently flawed. Our call is to keep love at the center of our lives by acting compassionately toward ourselves and others. Our call is to consider our actions with a forgiving spirit, even and especially those that we cannot seem to shake or to forget. This is hard work. We cannot undo a lifetime's worth of messages in a few days, but we can begin with forgiving ourselves. We can take that deep breath and remind ourselves that we are beloved one day at a time. Blessed be. Please join me in a responsive reading by Charles Thomas. You'll find the words printed in your order of service. I'll read the non-italicized portions, and you will read the italicized portions. Rooting ourselves in love as the source of all we are, let us love. Acknowledging every person and all of nature as unique, important, and wanted, let us love. Learning that we are not whole until all beings are whole, let us love. Sharing and relating with one another as each of us feels comfortable, let us love. Working to be anti-racist and opposing every oppression, let us love. Drawing nearer to beloved community on this, our one planet, let us love. So we're in February, and as you may have noticed, we've been talking a lot about love today. This is that time when the grocery stores become drenched in pink and red. People purchase flowers and chocolates and stuffed animals and cards with increasing urgency as we get closer to February 14th. So Valentine's Day puts romantic love front and center. And while I don't necessarily have anything against romantic love, it is just one kind of love. Most of those depictions of romantic love can be pretty limited and limiting. They're often depictions of hetero couples and cisgender individuals, and the absence of a broader representation can be painful for those of us who don't have those identities. Those of us who maybe are dealing with loss or loneliness may also experience this time as a difficult time. And so luckily here at AUUF, we're open to a wider conception of love that doesn't rest on romance alone. We aim to practice beloved community, a beautiful idea of an increasing circle of welcome and inclusion where all are recognized for their inherent dignity and worth, and all have a seat at the table, and all are cared for. We know that love can include sibling love, child love, parental love. We love our animal companions, even when they throw up on the carpet. We love places like this building or the environment that surrounds us, and some of us might even hug trees. We love truth and justice and those who labor in service of both. So, with this broad idea in mind, I had an idea. Are you just going to bring it up, Daryl? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to invite you all to build a word cloud together. And what I'm going to end up doing is taking this word cloud, and I want to get it printed on mugs for us to then use as a fundraiser in the fellowship. I'm going to call them love mugs. So if you can think of a person, a place, an object, or an idea that you love, and then go to, on your smartphone, or if you have a device, www.menti.com. And there's a code at the top of the screen there. You enter that in. If you don't have a smartphone, or if you're kind of a little techno-anxious, just work with somebody around you. Each person can input 3 things. So you might just tell somebody who's better at it than you what to put in. So we give everybody a minute to kind of get on there. Yeah, more than a minute. Yeah, the code is 28207384.
Chris?
Yes.
Is this one of those things where the more times the word appears, the bigger the word will be?
Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, the more times somebody puts something in, the bigger it'll be. So as you are doing this, you might come up with more ideas. I think you can hit refresh and do it again. But I'm also going to invite you to come to the microphone at the front, and you can tell us maybe a brief statement about a person or a place or thing, object or idea that you love. Why do you love it? And what do you want to share with us about your love as well? Tell some of the stories about what's up here.
The first thing that I ever said I loved was the beach. Our family used to go to, I was born in Mobile, and our family used to go to Mobile every summer for 2 weeks, and we have a little house right near the bay, and stayed in the same place a lot of the time. But anyway, till my daughter was born, and I took her when she was a little baby down to Mobile Bay, dipped her in the water and baptized her. So, water, Mobile Bay.
I wrote a poem a little while ago, which I think fits, so I hope you'll indulge me briefly. This does have brief descriptions of animal and child abuse. Very brief. Sorry. Okay. This is called New Bridge at the River Kwai. By the banks of the Kwai River, near the Death Bridge and the Allied graves, lives an elephant named Mongkol. He is 61. His remaining eye and half a tusk speak of the screaming, the straining, the beatings, the giant trees piled and pulled down denuded hillsides, the death bridge of corporate conquest. But here in forest gloom, an upright piano and a different human have appeared. Paul Barton plays the Moonlight Sonata from Mongkol again. This made me really emotional when I was writing it. I couldn't stop crying. So I'm sorry. The elephant, relaxing, narrows his remaining eye, flaps his ears, and turns his head towards this weaver of strange though now familiar sound paths. When changes occur, Mongkol sometimes widens his eye and seeks with his trunk, other times narrows his eye, turns to the pianist, or just stills to listen. His tail swishes, a happy metronome, not bound to the rhythm, but bonded to the seeking. Physically translated in the trunk, snuffling along the ground, twisting, especially as cadences approach, and once gracefully raised, curling with the quest of a climbing arpeggio. Is the bridge complete? Does his snuffling trunk remember other forests, the scent of cut trees, angry men, and pain without end? Does the anguish-seeking of a child, forced to practice all night by his drunken father, speak to the elephant, who is making his own kind of sense of his sufferings? Are the tenderness of Beethoven and the love of the pianist answered in the neuronal pathways of this battered animal? It is impertinent to ask, but still I hope this fragile triangle supports a bridge over the river of suffering to moonlit paths where we can rise together on an arpeggio, sniff the scent of hope and new grass, and feel in each familiar cadence a tenuous foothold on a peaceful shore. There's a YouTube video of the elephant listening.
This is the first time I've ever been able to tap it in fast enough to get my words up. Because I'm usually with a bunch of 20-year-olds who go, da, 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 da. There it is. So, nature is triumphing, which is pretty cool. That was my first word. If you'd asked me, do I love nature, I probably wouldn't have said yes. I just know I'm dedicated to it. But you know that if love and dedication are synonyms, and you know that you'll be dedicated to something forever, there's no question, then you know that you love that thing. So that's my reason for nature being up there. And I'm happy to see that nature and family are doing so well. Sorry, dogs. Cats are kicking your butt.
So I am Arrow Ace. For those who have never heard those terms before, they're two different things, and Arrow is aromantic and Ace is asexual. So that means I don't feel any romantic or sexual attraction to anybody. It is as hard for me to figure out what y'all are thinking about that as it is for you to figure out, like, how do you not? Yes, it is definitely a disconnect. So how have I conceptualized love in basically only having it for friends, for family? And when I started working with kids at 18, straight out of high school, within the first year, I was like, oh, I know I want to have kids around me all of my life. I don't want to have a big family, and I realized I want to foster and adopt. That is very difficult to do on your own. So the plan is to find people to co-parent with in a relationship similar to how you would think of traditional relationships, making a home together to raise kids, and maybe multiple different people. So if it takes a village, form a village kind of idea. So that is where my idea of love has formed a lot around.
Hey y'all, I put fair trade, equal exchange, because in my mind that's something that's anti-capitalist, anti-exploitation, and maybe not as many of us in this room, but could be more than we think, are affected by really predatory practices out in the world. And I think one of the paths towards healing that is negotiating as equals between members of community to meet your needs and not ever climb over someone to get ahead yourself.
Well, thank you to all who have shared. This is a nice cloud, and like I said, I'm going to try to get it printed up on some hooks. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably send out something about taking orders for them if you're interested in that. So now we'll move to our closing hymn, which is number 346 in the Gray Hymnal. Come sing a song with me. Please join me in extinguishing our chalice. You'll find the words printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please be our guest after the service today for our monthly potluck. Even if you've not brought something to share, you're welcome to partake. This is an opportunity to check in with folks about the service and how their week has gone. If you're not signed up for our email list, please make sure to do so to receive updates about ways to connect. You can find information on signing up on our website at auuf.org/subscribe. Now we welcome any announcements. I have one. February 22nd at 7 o'clock p.m. we'll have the first meeting of the campus ministry. So if you're affiliated with the university and would like to come join us, I hope that you will and that you'll bring a friend.
So I want to share that, well, I love music. And here at the fellowship, we share our space with the Sandilla Music Concert Series. And in this weird magazine that they keep sending to me, I go, why do I keep getting this magazine? Anyway, but it's about things that happen around Auburn. And they interviewed Bailey Jones and Allison Comstock and featured our lovely sanctuary. And it's mostly about the sanctuary and that we share our space with them. So I'm happy that we share our space with them because it's a wonderful place to be. And when, during COVID, when they had to move to Pebble Hill, everybody who came kept saying, when do we get to go back to the church? When do we get to go back to the church? So now we're back at the church. And they're also staying also at Pebble Hill some because when the weather warms up, the outside venue over there is very nice. So I encourage anybody to attend Sandilla if they like music.
I think Marcia would have made this announcement, so I'm just going to mention that next Sunday, not today, but next Sunday, the Humanist group will meet, and pretty sure it's at 5. It's a potluck. There'll be emails about it, so you'll learn more. But it's we're going to be discussing artificial intelligence.
All righty. Yoga. So Jerry, who is coming to yoga, by the way, thank you, Jerry, in supporting yoga. Yes, and he's doing so well. It's February 14th, so he suggested I just come up and mention it. Also, the drum circle, which I'm going to tell you we may cut because it just ain't happening. But I'm there pounding my drum away at 5 o'clock, so if you want to do some romantic drumming, come on down. And so it will be a special thing. It's all about heart opening and loving yourself first to love others. So I hope you join us Tuesday, 5:30 for yoga, 5 o'clock for the drums. Thank you. I'm going to go this way. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for making cards, sending cards, purchasing the cards. We are ready to deliver the Valentine card, and then our kids are coming. So if you can stay a little bit, even if you're not participating in the potluck for any reason, please stay a little bit so that they have a chance to get you. And then also, I have to be honest, I found some cards from before. Don't ask me why. So if you receive that card, you say thank you, and I said, no, I didn't send it this year. Little time capsule in love, okay?
Please join us now for our sung benediction.
Go forth to the world in peace, in peace. Be of good courage, hold fast that which is good. Go forth to the world in peace, in peace. Love all people, rejoicing in the power of the Spirit. Go in peace.
Our closing words are from Emily Richards. Our work here this morning is at an end, and our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love, the work of trusting that we are on the right path, the work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us, the work of engaging in that which makes us whole, the work of deeper understanding and commitment, the work of letting go of that which does not serve us, the work of radical inclusion, the work of collective liberation, the work of this beloved community, a beloved community of which we are all a part, a place where we are welcome, respected, valued, cherished, a place where we belong. Amen. Blessed be. Go in peace.
They're at the very least, it goes up and down. We play that up and down. Yeah, I wish we could have we're not there yet. We know what the goal is. Hi, neighbor. Hi, neighbor. Yeah, I'm glad you came in. I'm so sad. No, I'm not really. Yeah, in the